We are going to do example 3 for half-life calculations. This time we're going to do two things: number of half-lives and number of grams. We are still on notebook page 64. This is example 3. This time the information is changed, and this has a typo on it. This is 10.4 hours. Sorry about that. I'm going to read this to us, and then we're going to decide if we're going to use this formula or not. Manganese 56 is a beta emitter with a half-life of 2.6 hours. What is the mass of manganese 56 in a 1.0 milligram sample of the isotope at the end of 10.4 hours? Right. Here it says, what is the mass? As we talked about earlier, this formula is used only to calculate mass in grams. So because of that, we are going to use this formula. And just like the last example, we're going to list the variables A, A0, and N. Now let's go back to the reading and find what we have. So manganese 56 is a beta emitter with a half-life of 2.6 hours. It doesn't give us A, A0, or N. What is the mass? All right, remaining, right, at the end. So amount remaining is a question mark. And we have a 1.0 milligram sample. Now we have that one half-life is 2.6 hours, and we have a total time here of 10.4 hours, but we don't have a number of half-lives. This is very often an additional math step that you need to take to find the number of half-lives. So what we're going to do is figure out how many half-lives would occur in this total amount of time. So sometimes you need to do total time that has elapsed, and you divide it by the time of one half-life, and that's going to give you the number of half-lives. So in this case, I'm going to do 10.4 hours divided by 2.6 hours. So here's my N. 10.4 divided by 2.6, and I get 4. All right? That's very often an additional step that needs to occur. Now I have everything I need, so A equals A0 times 1/2 to the power of N. I just rewrote the formula. Now I'm going to plug in my numbers, maybe, if I'm actually going to do it. Sorry about that. I got all excited. A 1.0 milligrams times 1/2 to the power of 4 this time. This is fine for writing it. You don't need to do anything else when you're showing work, but I'm going to, in blue, show you what your calculator is going to do. So A, you're going to do 1.0 milligrams, then you're going to do times 1/2 caret 4. All right, again, this is your calculator. And 0.5 caret 4 is a number. It is 0.0625. Again, there's no units on that. That means A, when I multiply these two things, 0.0625 milligrams. Last step are sig figs. So this number right here is the number we're going to look at for significant figures. There's two significant figures there. Therefore, I cannot report this 5. And I need to report this because leading zeros do not count. But because this is a 5, I need to round up. So A, the amount remaining, is equal to 0.063. milligrams. Okay. So if you start with 1 milligram and 4 half-lives pass, which would be about 10 hours, there would be 0.063 milligrams of manganese 56 remaining.